Good morning, everyone. Art of Patience Metal Fab, and I'm back with one of our favorite cars lately. It's this orange C8 Corvette that you guys have seen in a couple of our episodes, and it's fresh from the track. You can still see some tire marks and things on it, but it's back for more upgrades. If you haven't seen what we did in the last couple of videos, check those out. So I wanted to go over the individual mods we've already done. We'll kind of move forward, and I'll talk about the stuff we're gonna do. So the first thing is we're gonna have to pull some things from the rear end of the car in order to fit this awesome Corsa carbon fiber intake. So I'll unbox that, and then DJ is going to start tearing into this thing. Also, we got to take those seats and roll bar out that we put in last time and kind of finalize the design on the roll bar. It is a prototype after all, and in this episode we're going to be working on making the production version. So if you have a C8 Corvette, you are going to have the opportunity to buy one of these roll bars on our website eventually, maybe even by the time this video's out. And then one of the last things that we'll do is address the exhaust. And I don't know exactly what we're going to be doing to it, but I know that the OEM exhaust is going to be taken out. Whether we're going to be doing something custom or off the shelf, you got to stick around to find out. DJ's really been cranking away on this production version of the roll bar that I showed you in the Corvette. Now that was the prototype that we mounted. Then we took it out and used it to create a fixture using one of the newest pieces of equipment in our facility, which is the segment frame table. So essentially he's been creating these fixture mounts, and that way we could replicate the production version of the roll bar over and over, even once the car is gone. So what I want to do is grab Gary, have him come over and give you some details on this table, because it is an awesome piece of equipment and one of the more expensive things in our shop. Hey Gary, we got a big problem. That fresh new table you ordered is full of holes, so there's an issue with that. Can you come break it down for us? Tell us what we have here.
Those are precision holes.
Are they? They don't look very precision to me.
Oh, they're precision.
No, I'm just kidding. They look incredibly precision, and that's really the purpose of this whole table, isn't it?
These things are awesome. 5/8 holes, got 1/8" notches on them. Every square is 2 inches. I mean, this is exactly what you need to allow you to build fixtures on this stone ground, totally flat. The nice thing about it is when we build fixtures on here, instead of having one big giant fixture, you just got a bunch of components. So our fixtures store in like a 12x12 box instead of a big giant flat piece that would take to make the same fixture. The capabilities of this table are endless, but actually we bought it specifically to get into doing our roll bar stuff. In this case, something scaled back a little bit. The Corvette roll bar, a little more simple, basic fixturing. But again, purchase of this was intentional because this is what we are getting into now, is the side-by-side bolt-on cages. that table lets us build these things and ensure that everything fits perfectly when it comes off there.
The best part about this table is it's going to open up so many capabilities for us. I mentioned the production side of things, so with DJ having to weld a dozen, 50, 100 of these roll bars, however many we sell, and keep that consistency. That's hugely important. But the other big thing is we can do one-off projects on this, and we can even take it to the next level, where in the past we'd need one of the vehicles inside the shop to be able to work off of. Now we can get digital data, scans, put it in CAD, and designed all the fixturing around the digital print, and then be able to make the hard physical product and send it wherever we want. That means we can interact with other fabrication shops across the state, across the country, even around the world, to be able to make custom one-off things for cars that were never even in our shop. Here is the monstrosity of the OEM muffler, and there is so much going on. You can attest to the heaviness, if you had to guess.
It's probably right around that 50, 60 pounds.
Yeah, we'll weigh it out, and then eventually once we have our muffler system all set up, we'll weigh that too. It's gonna be significantly lighter, we already know that. Can you tell us why there's so much going on with these valves, sensors, whatever we've got up here?
These are gonna be your AFM valves. They're for the active fuel management system. When it goes into 4-cylinder mode, there's a valve inside that'll actuate based off these motors, and it's gonna help the drone on the car. That way you don't get that obnoxious 4-cylinder sound. These other valves on the outside, these are gonna be for when it goes into race mode or wide open throttle. They open up and bypass the exhaust flow to utilize both exhaust tips and not just the inboard.
So when we make our version of this, what are we keeping and what are we ditching?
So we're gonna keep the AFM actuators, but we won't have a valve system. That way, when this is installed, you can install this and you don't have to tune it out. That way you don't end up with a check engine light.
DJ just threw a fresh pair of slicks on the car because the last time the owner was out on the track, he chewed them up pretty bad and had to stop his track day a bit short. So he's gonna pick it up today, which means we really gotta hustle. And the stars really aligned because we got the roll bar back from Powder Coat. You can see it's this gorgeous orange color to match the exterior of the car. That's a little bit lighter, but once it's on the interior where it's darker, it's gonna be a pretty close match. And we've also got a couple accents with the Racetech seat. They're gonna set it over the edge. So DJ is gonna lower the car down and then throw the roll bar in there, and then we really gotta put the finishing touches on this so he can make it out to the track. Since the vet is just about to head out, I'd say that's a wrap for this session. We've got the Racetech seats and harnesses installed. We've got the roll bar mounted. That is looking awesome, and that orange powder coat was a great decision, especially out here in the light. It matches the exterior and looks incredible. We also did the Corsa carbon fiber intake underneath the trunk, which is a shame to hide because that is a beautiful unit, but we're gonna feel the performance aspects of that out on the track. Now, the other track mod that we're gonna do in the next episode is, once we get the car back, a full custom exhaust underneath here. You saw DJ pulling out the OEM muffler section and getting some measurements, so he's starting to get some ideas on what that custom exhaust is gonna look like. Eventually, along with the exhaust and the intake, we're gonna tune this car and get some more power out of it as well. That'll really complement the aerodynamic mods that we've done. Now, speaking of the racetrack, the owner of this car isn't gonna be the only one that's out there this weekend. I'm actually gonna be joining him with some of my camera equipment, and I wanna show you guys what it feels like to be inside this car, get some seat time, and what sort of changes these modifications have meant for the driver when he's out there at the track. So that's gonna be a really exciting episode. You guys have to tune in for that one. Subscribe to the page if you haven't already, like this video, share it around, and we'll see you in the next episode.